We may start. I'm Shuming. I'm the director of the China Data Center. And today, I would like to give a talk about the current work and by our China Data Center. The topic of this one is experience the spatial intelligence with the US Geo-Explorer. And we started actually work on the China data and many years ago. Now when we find if you were to try to understand what's going on in China, you need to also understand what's going on in other countries, especially what's going on in the US. Now not some US stock is kind of crash. And because the China stock started the crash in the first. That's kind of global impact. And so it's important to understand now and what's going on not only in one country, but also what's in other countries. So now that we also expand from the China Geo-Explorer to the US Geo-Explorer. Where for the our night tool and focus here today is what kind of the spatial intelligence for the US or China studies. And there's many the map service or spatial data service now, but for the many spatial data service, and you need some the GI skills, you need some the GI training. Otherwise, it's very difficult challenge for people who are interested in the spatial studies. So here the topic I would like to cover today about this topic I would like to cover. And what is the spatial intelligence? What is the US Geo-Explorer? And what data are unique in the US Geo-Explorer? And what functions are available in the US Geo-Explorer? And how to export data to GIS map from the GUG, how to upload the user data and to the UG, and also finally I want to give a brief demo on the US Geo-Explorer. If you look at the website, if you search the spatial intelligence, and there's some definition about the spatial intelligence. Actually, this one is pretty popular about the spatial intelligence. The spatial intelligence is the ability to comprehend the three-dimensional image and shape. And it's kind of visual thinking. Recognize the image and understand its relationship to other surrounding objects and display the organizer structure. So yesterday I just watched a TV movie about the kind of competition. So people can just look at the image on the kind of the black image on the screens, and they can recognize what kind of the pattern on the kind of black screen. So this is the kind of ability to try to recognize, they can recognize, and there's difference between the different images, and also the relationship between the surrounding, the subject objects. So in summary, for spatial intelligence, so it's kind of ability to understand the spatial relationship and also the space-time change in this kind of relationship. And not all the people have this kind of the power or ability to recognize this kind of spatial relationship. So what we can do now with the new technology, we can develop and the new methodology, technology to help people to understand this spatial relationship, to understand the space-time change in the spatial relationship. So this is a kind of example here. So we have the compass, we have the map. So with the map, you can find so what kind of relationship between different objects. With the compass, you can find where are you now, so where you are going, where is the direction, how you can find the path. So that kind of the technology helps you to find the location and the relationship. This is the picture image of the digital camera. So with the digital camera now, everyone can take the photos. It's not because we are professional, because the camera has the spatial intelligence and offer this kind of spatial intelligence. And they have the methodology, advanced methodology and technology. So now the people to have the ability to recognize, to take the spatial, the precise, very nice, the image, the photos, and to identify the spatial relationship and for different spatial objects. So that's exactly what we need to do for data service. And for data service, probably the ICSR, we are the primary data providers for survey data. But probably the majority of our users are advanced data users. I mean, they are serious data users. And the people, they have to download the data and to understand what's going on, what's the objective of survey. And then they also need to know how to use the software and for data analysis. So but the majority, probably many people, they don't have this kind of skills. And this is especially for the spatial data. And for spatial data, you need to have the GI software to know to use the spatial data. So I have been, go to many places for the presentations. When I ask how many people know the GIS, have you heard the GIS? Probably many people heard the GIS, but how many people actually use the GIS? Probably very few people have been using the GIS. Even they know they need the spatial data. They need the spatial analysis, for history, for environment, for language, or the culture studies. So the US Geo-Explorer is trying to offer some function and data for the people who can easily get access and also be able to use the spatial data for their studies. So the US Geo-Explorer is a web-based spatial data service. So you don't have to install any software, just use the web. It provides many unique and comprehensive information on the US population and business. This is very challenging. Now in the US, many data actually you can get access from the government side, but what kind of unique information we can provide here? And actually the data we provide here, probably you cannot get from the public domain. They are all things look sensitive, but it's different from the sense data from the US Census Bureau. We have the business data. This business data is different from the business data from the government side. And we provide you can find the comparable data with more than 45,000 variables of different neighbors and state, metropolitan, county, CCD, place, tract, block. So this is probably the first time you can find so large a collection of the US data that can be comparable at the different neighbors at different times. And also, it provides easy access with many powerful and unique functions. And also, most important, you don't need any GI skills for use the spatial data and for mapping or some online analysis. So these are some US data source and provide covered by the US Geo-Explorer. Some of you from the US population census data, US economic census data, US business data, and the US firms data. So these data are primarily from Applied Geographic Solutions, the company, and also from the Info Group Incorporation. So these data actually and population census data is originally from the US Bureau of Census. They have been processed and make the base map, so the map can be comparable across the different years from 70, 80, 90, 2000, and 2010. And also the business data has been processed, and based on those base maps, they have different neighbors. So this is the kind of list of what kind of data covered for US population census covered from the primary category, and the economic census, that's based on the county, the summary from the US Bureau of the Census. The business data is from Info Group, so they connect up data every year. That include a company name, address, what kind of the firm, what's the code, employee size, share volume, and year of establishment, and also that's XY the coordinates. This is the US business category. this provides very detailed the U.S. business category and more detailed than the U.S. Bureau of the Census. So these data are very important now, can help us to understand where the people live, what kind of people live on where, and where the business is, and on where, and also the most important, how the demographic structure, the business structure, and changed over time. So the UG provides some unique functions, and they provide some flexible data snatching, so people not only be able to snap data by the manually, say from the list of administrative the region, they can also snap data by the circle, by rectangle, polygons, and from map directly. Or even they can snap data by their self-defined area. So that kind of data you probably never be able to find in any official publications. So you can also snap data by XY coordinates and a spatial range. You can generate easy and time-saving reports, charts, and maps. You can export data different the format, HTML, PDF, Word, X-File, and even the GIS shape files. And you can also integrate the user data with the base data. That's, so with the baseline, base map online, with the online tool, you can upload your data and make the map at different level, by state, by metropolitan, by county, by tract, by block, very easily. We don't need to have the GIS software. So these are some functions, and for the data snatching, you can snap data by region, like by state, metropolitan, county, CDD, place, tract, block. You can snap data by self-defined area, snap data by XY location, snap data with spatial tool from map directly. This is an example of the data snatching by region. So you can see you can snap data, first one, by what kind of neighbor. So I not to snap data by state or by metropolitan. Then I can snap data, you can snap data from manually from the list here, say by state and list of the counties. You can also snap data from the map directly. Use these tools, the circle, rectangle, polygons. Once you snap the region, then you can snap, export the data to the Excel file, Word file, HTML, and PDF files. So this is the example, and for the data snatching by self-defined areas. So these areas probably maybe a flooding area, or maybe there's a kind of the disaster, and or the diseases. So we're not to find for these areas, and what's the population, how many businesses, what kind of impact, and on both the population and business. So you can use the tools to define your area from map directly. So you can define one or two or more than the two. So once you snap the area, you can find, okay, what's the total area size here. Then you can generate the data report and for this area and directly. You can also snap data by location and spatial range. That's how you can manually input your XY coordinates, or you can upload your data put into a file, then upload it to the server. And also you can define the spatial range from here, the 1 mile, 3 mile, 5 mile, or 10 miles. Now you can also snap data point from the map directly. You can just click the map, and then they're defined and what's the spatial range. You can change the spatial range and manually. Then you can generate the data report. This report includes a summarized report and then comparison report for each different spatial distance. So they can calculate how many population, what kind of business there, and within different spatial range. Now, once you make your snapshot here, now you can generate the easy and time-saving report and chart maps very easily. You can generate reports, and we have predefined standard reports. You can also customize the reports from more than 45,000 variables. Those reports can be exported to HTML, PDF, Excel, Word file, or you can generate charts, the dynamic links between table and maps. And also you can export the maps to JPG or PDF file, or export maps to GIS shaped files. So everything in the Geo-Explorer, it can be exported. This kind of standard report, the standard report, you can snap this kind of predefined standard report. The standard report is mostly people, they are mostly probably interested in, and maybe some total population, age structure, house structure, and the business structure, and also the comparison report. So they have a summarized report, and also comparison report for each metropolitan, each state, or each county. And you can also generate the customized report. The customized report allow you to pick up what kind of variables. So this variable can be from the different years of population census, or maybe from different years of economic census, or from the different years of the business. Then you could have the similar summarized report, and a customized report, and a rank report. So you can export the data to the GIS map. So you can snap what kind of GIS map you would like to snap it. You like to snap it administrative region, or XY location and a spatial range, or the time series. And then you can snap what kind of region. So you know which state, which county you snap it. Then you snap which index you like to export to. So you can, after you snap all this index, the neighbors, the region, then you can click export the GIS map to the shape file. Then in the GIS, you can use other software to load the GIS data for further analysis. And this one allows you, the function allows you to upload user data. Because now many users say, I have my user data. This user data is just an Excel file. It's attributed. Many people, they can get data attributed much easier from many places, or just input myself. And they don't need the GIS software. But with the attribute, how can we use this data to make the map? We don't have the GIS software. We don't have the GIS even map, right? Don't worry. So you can upload your data, and so you can click here. This is the upload your data. So you can snap what kind of neighbor you would like to upload. It's the state neighbor, or the county neighbor, or metropolitan. Then we'll give you kind of a template. The template will tell you can download the code table. The code is not some fifth code. So the table will include the fifth code. This fifth code and for all region or snapped region by you. So I would like to download a get map for this snapped county or snapped state. So they will, and you download the fifth code for this snapped region. And then you can add your asset data to the table. Now from here, add your data to this table. And to the new variables, just add to that one. So there's a code here, there's a name here. So this is the data you can update, add to the table. Once you add to this Excel table, then you can upload your table and to the server. Then you can see your data will be added here, included here, and integrated is lined up with other base data. So now you can generate a report, and not only your data, but also base data on the server. And also for mapping, for generate report, get a summary report, get a comparison report, get a rank report. So your data will be integrated with more than 45,000 variables, and for spatial analysis, for spatial mapping. And also with Geo-Explorer, Geo-Explorer, you can easily compare what's going on in US and China. So you just go to the comparative studies. You can click any the US the state or metropolitan. Then you can find okay, what kind of similarity map between this state and metropolitan. Then as other the states or metropolitan in the US, and also what's the similarity between the state or metropolitan in the US and the province or cities in China. So in terms of the population structure, household structure, employment, the education structure. So it's easy to generate the map and also the tables. the table gives you similarity scores and between the states and the Chinese province, between the metropolitan and the prefecture cities in China. So this scores can be used for the modeling or statistical analysis. Well, this is another experiment application for big data integration. So with these functions, you can, for the now the many studies, probably that we have the 45,000 variables, but for many studies, probably you cannot find this kind of standard definition. And from the government the data or even the publications, that's how to define the outdoor activities, right? And how to define the football. And is that kind of how many the revenue and spend on football, how many football games, or how many people watch the football? It's kind of the not clear definition. So for that kind of studies where there's many similar interests or demand for this kind of how to view and generate the data from that kind of not official, not clear definition. So what we are doing here, and you just type any keyword, then we use the search tools. Just use the search tool, and you can help you to generate the map for this keyword. So this keyword, we don't know what's exactly for this keyword that map means, but this map is kind of popularity of this keyword and on the map. So that can help you to build an actual numerical table. And so this is the help you actually convert the non-structured data to structured data, non-spatial data to spatial data, convert from the text data to the numerical data. And so that kind of data can be kind of complementary data to our baseline data. And we have been using this one for several case studies. Next time we use this one and try to build a kind of correlation. You can, and once you add the keyword and the keyword search, you can add the data table into your current index. Then you can generate correlation matrix and between your search words result and other baseline data. So basically, so you can find how this is maybe the football and what's correlation with the universities, with the students, or with the anywhere, or with a different say revenue. So this is provide a kind of the sample how to integrate the base data and with the base data and with the big data with the base data and for online analysis. So question, and who probably will need the US UG? And so if you find now before the UG US Geo-Explorer, you probably find some similar, well, not similar, exactly similar, the spatial data service in the US, like some Simply Map and the Social Explorer. That's probably into most popular the subscription-based the data service. And but if you find the data we have here very unique, and it's quite extensive, comprehensive. That's different from what they can offer. Then also those functions, probably none of them, they can allow the user to export the data into the GIS maps. And so here is not only the users can use the data online, but also they can upload their data and to work with the online data. So the data now is covered almost every field. So basically, in theory, everyone can use the US Geo-Explorer. Mostly, for the students, they can be from any field. They can be from environment, maybe from the business, and from health, education, for example, for business. And one of the most popular application is the location analysis. So they can, for site selection, so they can find if we're not to build a store here, we're not to build a school here, we're not to build a hospital here, and how many potential clients, and within different spatial distance, is there any kind of competitor or is there any complementary the service there? So that kind of the information, is very important for this kind of site selections. And also, for environment, we like to find, for this, we probably find some environment issues here, not some fleet. Just have find water solution, the pollution here. Now it's on the CNN news. But why there's water pollution in the fleet? We should be probably easy to identify where's the solution, where pollution source, where's the possible the pollution source over there. And if we use this similar pattern to identify if there's a similar probably the potential risk in other places, if they have the similar the pattern and also they have similar the business pattern, have the similar the pollution source there too, right? And also more importantly, how many people are affected by this water pollution. We can now easily to draft filters to find where is the probably core area, where is the potential extended areas, and with the tools. So all the applications, now we can find how many students are affected, maybe retirement, the aged people are affected. And so how many business affected. So that can be easily assessed with the tool very quickly. So this is what I would like to introduce today. Any questions?